Good morning, it's Anna again. Today I am going to paint my front door. I have been wanting a little change for a while. You can see how beat up this dear old thing is. And along with the rust colored paint of the house, I thought a dark navy color might look good. So I'm going to scrub this down because my golden retriever and her muddy paws, I'll tell you. We're going to wash it and sand it and paint this puppy. Ready to go? Is it just me, or is a front door a little bit of a sentimental thing? I look at this, and as I scrub it and sand it, I see so many little signs of life on here that contain memories. That smudge right there, that is from the time we managed to catch a Playmobil castle on fire. Do not even ask me how. Oh my goodness. And I carried its flaming carcass outside, threw it in the snowbank, and a little bit of the flaming plastic flew against the door and left this plasticky scorch mark. This weird orange stain is a mystery to me. There's a little over here too. My theory is it showed up the same time my dog first got skunked, and I'm thinking she ran with her dripping skunk face self, leaned against the door, and that somehow the chemical from the skunk spray actually stained the door. That is my working theory. Here's where somebody long before my time tried to cover a chip in the paint with a splash, apparently, of some other different white paint. I have gotten a kick out of this since the day I moved in. Now, if I really wanted this door to be perfect, what I'd be doing is probably taking it to go get sandblasted. But I don't want perfection right now. I just want it to feel like us and lived in and peaceful and joyful. And one thing that I really like is that this is a pretty old front door, and it just feels like it has so many memories baked right into it. When I look at this door, it reminds me of the paint on an old wooden ship where you just paint it again and again and again, and eventually it's not perfectly smooth and flat, but it's bright and finished, and there's so much life still sort of under there. If I were painting both sides of the door, I would definitely take it off the hinges. And if I were really going for perfection, I'd remove all of the door handle hardware. But again, that I'm just going to tape it off and paint it. And next time around, we'll worry about doing both sides of the door, inside and outside. Take off every bit of that hardware that I just installed, these new door handles. Actually, my dad installed these new door handles. Thanks, Dad. And I'm not going to take all that off just for painting it. I'm a good painter, and I'm going to tape it off, and it's going to be fine. Let's paint. I'm a sucker for dark bluish gray colors, and this is one that I've used before and loved, and I thought it would work really well. It's called Hail Navy from Benjamin Moore, and starting to put it on there. I think we're gonna love it. I can't wait. So that first coat of paint needs to dry. Probably, judging from how this is covering, it's going to take 3 good thin coats. And so while we wait for that first coat of paint to dry, I just thought we might enjoy cup of coffee number 3 and talk about life change and how sometimes a small, tangible, quickly made change like painting a door can be such a touchstone during a time of huge transformation. You know, I really discovered this a year ago when I had just become a single mother. This wasn't a change that I was expecting, and yet it was a change that desperately needed to happen. It was a good and necessary life-giving change for my children and for me. And it was hard, and it's still hard. Being a single mom is never an easy undertaking. But in the weeks that followed, as the fog started to clear just a little bit, I became aware of this need that I had for making my bedroom feel like my own. And I could not afford a gallon of paint to paint all those walls, but what I could afford was a couple little cheap samples of paint, especially when it was buy one, get one free at the hardware store. $6.27, I still remember. Um, that I could manage. And so I took everything out of my closet and painted it. And even still, sometimes I wake up first thing in the morning and I catch a glimpse of that closet and I think, things are different, things are beautiful. This place feels like peace. And to me, that inexpensive, slightly time consuming, but painting of the closet was like this touchstone for me. I was able to, every morning when I looked up, if I pulled a shirt out of the closet, to just pause for a moment and smile and see, remind myself, things are different. This feels like peace. I can make good and beautiful things. And this life, it's hard, but it's going to be good and beautiful. I'm painting this front door almost a year to the day after our big life change and becoming a single mom. And it just kind of shook out that way. But as I'm quietly painting this, the kids are spending a day with my parents, which is awesome. They're having a great time. I'm tackling this quiet, peaceful task of painting a door and making this tangible change that feels like more than just a coat of paint on a door. And I think that sometimes when you're undertaking something really huge, whether you've suddenly discovered that, you're embarking on single mom life, if you're contemplating needing to leave a marriage that's destroying you and hurting your kids, maybe it's simply all of a sudden needing to go through that earthquake of a change that is a shift in your worldview. If, like me, you were raised, I was homeschooled with a conservative upbringing with all Southern printed, conservative, like Abeka and Bob Jones homeschool curricula that gave me a very particular worldview that I have come to realize I do not believe that is God glorifying in any way. Racism and white supremacy and colonialism and intense patriarchy that supports oppression of women and a lack of education for women and abuse. Abuse. That is not glorifying to God, and I'm just going to say it and stand on that. And I'm re-educating myself, and maybe if you're watching this channel, chances are maybe you are as well. And re-educating yourself with a new openness to a different worldview than what you were raised with can be as life-changing as moving or becoming a single parent. Having kids, changing your worldview is huge. And it doesn't happen overnight, and it can be an earthquake of a process. And sometimes when you take on an earthquake, one small, intangible, beautiful change that you can look at, that you can touch, that you can see, I made the choice to change this, and it's beautiful. That is a small thing that can actually just help with daily resolve. And again, I'm speaking for me, but this is something that I've heard from other people who have gone through really big changes. A small, tangible, beautiful change can help with a transition and a time of monumental change. It can help with feeling peace within that. It can help with holding your course and standing your ground and having a surety that you can make good choices, you can make beautiful choices, you can create beauty and peace. And so yes, I am painting a door and not doing it perfectly, and that's okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about love and joy and beauty and creating a peaceful, a peace-filled home and haven in which to raise my beautiful children. And that's what we're creating here. And sometimes a reminder to mama that is as simple as changing the color of my door, painting a closet. If there's one little thing that you can afford to do, you know, I was able to get this quart of paint on sale, and with some points that I had at the local hardware store, it was expensive for me. $16.13 isn't nothing when, you know, you're the breadwinner and, you know, things are tight. But if, whatever that is, that's a small tangible change that you can afford the pennies to make it happen and the couple of hours or even minutes to make that happen, let me just encourage you to go for it. Cheering you on. Let's put on the second coat. I think we're ready. It's hard to see with the midday angle of the sunshine, but I am loving this color. It's Hail Navy and it is just so pretty. All right, I'm about to take the tape off of the hardware. Let's look at this. I wasn't exactly sure how I would like the dark hardware against the dark blue, but I am loving it. You can see I need to do just a tiny little touch up where the edge of that painter's tape took off just a little bit right near the doorknob, but it's not too bad. I love it. Standing in front of my newly painted door, I was thinking of the traditional Jewish blessing, the Birkat Habayit, which is often said over a new home or even put up next to the mezuzah. It goes, "Let no sorrow come through this gate. Let no trouble come to this dwelling. Let no fear come through this door. Let no conflict be in this place. Let this home be filled with the blessing of joy and peace." I pray that over my own home and over yours as well. My name is Anna. This is Mommy Turns the Page. Thank you so much for joining me.